The USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, is not just a supercarrier, it is the vanguard of modern naval warfare. With MQ-25 Stingray drones, F-35Cs, integrated defense systems, Helios lasers, and EASR radar, it redefines high-speed attack and defense. Amid hypersonics, drones, and asymmetric warfare, the Kennedy tests technologies of the future, projecting global power and proving that true naval strength today relies on intelligence, automation, and unprecedented adaptability. But before we begin, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now, let's get started. Theme 1. The silent arrival and strategic significance of the USS John F. Kennedy. No shots were fired, no warnings were issued, yet within hours, the strategic balance in the Pacific began to shift. The USS John F. Kennedy, a $13 billion supercarrier, officially entered its first deployment phase. There were no headlines, no loud announcements. Still, its silent arrival was powerful enough to make the entire region take notice. This is not just another warship, it is a floating force of technology, energy, and long-term strategy. While the world continues to debate budgets and politics, this ship was quietly completed, and now it is ready. But the real question is the Kennedy just a ship, or does it represent something greater? Could this be the start of a new American naval doctrine for the 21st century? The answer requires detailed analysis. The USS John F. Kennedy CVN-79 is not just another American warship, it represents a $13 billion statement of power built to sail contested waters and remind the world who still commands the seas. In an era when rival powers vie for dominance in the Pacific, the arrival of this new carrier sends a louder message than any political speech. The United States Navy is not backing down. This is not merely a debate about ships and steel, it's about leadership. The CVN-79 joins the fleet as the second supercarrier of the Gerald R. Ford class, a class that has faced budget battles, political delays, and questions about its relevance. Many believe the era of aircraft carriers was over, replaced by drones, satellites, and cyber warfare. However, this ship proves they were wrong. The US has not abandoned the seas, it has recalibrated, replanned, and returned stronger. The name John F. Kennedy carries deep meaning, linking today's Navy to one of America's most audacious visions. President Kennedy's commitment to putting a man on the moon was not about ease, but ambition. That same ambition now drives CVN-79 forward. The ship is not just floating hardware, it is a moving symbol of American resolve. While rivals boast of missiles and new bases, this carrier represents a legacy of action, not just rhetoric. Even its silent arrival carries weight. No fireworks, no threats, just a massive hull cutting through open waters with quiet authority. From a distance, it may seem routine, but make no mistake, nothing about CVN-79 is routine. It was built to reshape strategies, overcome doubts, and tip the balance back in favor of American dominance. The timing of CVN-79's launch is no coincidence. While US politics is entangled in debates over budgets, elections, and global fatigue, the Navy prepared quietly and patiently. The result is a carrier capable of sailing for more than 50 years and serving as a mobile embassy of deterrence. It appears when others hesitate and acts when others debate. This ship does more than patrol. It projects power. It reassures nervous allies in Japan, South Korea, and the Philippines. It counterbalances growing Chinese naval pressure and reminds Moscow that the American presence extends far beyond Europe. In contested waters, credibility is measured by capability, and CVN-79 delivers in abundance. The carrier also signals a shift in posture. After years of uncertainty, the US leans again toward forward presence. Naval power is not just defense, it is influence. And when that influence comes in a 100,000-ton package equipped with state-of-the-art technology, it is impossible to ignore. Theme 2: Technology, Energy, and Operational Revolution. To sustain this message, not just now but for decades, CVN-79 has been equipped with the most advanced propulsion and aircraft handling systems ever built. At the heart of the USS John F. Kennedy lies a revolutionary change in how aircraft carriers are powered and operated. Instead of using the older A4W reactors found on Nimitz-class carriers, this next-generation supercarrier runs on two A1B nuclear reactors. These reactors generate roughly 700 megawatts of electricity, providing 25% more power power than the previous class. This increase is not just for moving the ship, it unlocks an entirely new level of warfighting capability. The extra power supports all advanced onboard systems, from propulsion and radar to high-speed computing and digital warfare tools. This allows full integration of electronic weapons, advanced tracking systems, and even future laser-based defenses. In other words, the Kennedy doesn't just have speed and size, it has energy dominance, giving it the ability to conduct missions faster, longer, and with far greater force projection than its predecessors. The technology on board also reflects a profound strategic shift. By combining advanced radar systems, nuclear propulsion, and digital command platforms, the carrier becomes a core of power designed to be decisive in any conflict scenario. It's not just about confronting enemies, but shaping the security environment across the Pacific region. While rivals focus on bases and missiles, CVN-79 brings a completely different approach, a silent yet tangible demonstration of enduring power. It redefines American naval presence, showing that global influence is measured not only in words, but in concrete, persistent action. The impact of this technological evolution is immense. It not only strengthens US military capability, but also sends a clear message that the country remains an undisputed leader in naval innovation. It is preparation for conflicts yet to come, a declaration that dominance at sea continues to be a strategic priority. Theme 3: Technological Innovations and Operational Superiority of the USS John F. Kennedy. One of the most revolutionary innovations enabled by the A-1B reactors is the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, EMALS. Instead of relying on steam catapults, EMALS uses magnetic force to launch aircraft. This system is not only more efficient, but also much smoother on airplanes, reducing structural wear and increasing the durability of the embarked air wing. The technology particularly benefits modern jets like the F-35C stealth fighter, which have sensitive electronics on board and lighter structures. Due to the smoother launch, these aircraft experience less physical stress, extending their service life and ensuring they are ready for intense operations. Additionally, EMAL significantly increases the number of aircraft that can be launched in a short period, enhancing the carrier's combat readiness. With this system, the Kennedy can rapidly deploy a mix of fighters, surveillance drones, and unmanned attack vehicles without overloading its systems or compromising aircraft integrity. In future battle scenarios where speed and adaptability determine the outcome, this launch system provides the US Navy with a decisive advantage. EMALS also requires fewer personnel to operate, reducing crew fatigue and long-term maintenance costs. In terms of combat efficiency and safety, it represents a giant leap in the history of carrier aviation, redefining what is possible for modern aircraft carriers. While EMALS handles launches, the Advanced Arresting Gear, AAG, ensures that aircraft return safely to the deck. Fully electric and controlled by advanced software, the AAG can adjust its force to recover everything from large fighters to light drones, making it ideal for the growing role of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and US Navy operations. In the past, recovering drones was complicated due to their low weight and less reinforced structures. The AAG solves this by applying precisely measured braking force, allowing drones to land safely and be reused multiple times, saving time and financial resources. Together, EMALS and AAG form the operational backbone of the Kennedy, preparing it for a future of unmanned warfare and highly effective precision strikes. Beyond air operations, the Kennedy's new energy system supports next-generation weapons and control systems. It enables the use of directed energy weapons, such as high-powered lasers and electromagnetic cannons, which require massive amounts of instantaneous energy. These systems can intercept missiles, destroy drones, or neutralize targets without explosives, reducing costs and eliminating the need for constant resupply. The ship's Combat Information Center has also been upgraded. Now faster, smarter, and more secure, it connects to satellites, fighters, submarines, and other vessels in real time, turning the Kennedy into a command and control hub for American and Allied forces. Whether coordinating joint airstrikes or responding to hypersonic threats, the carrier has the resources and energy to react immediately to any situation. In summary, the A-1B reactors not only keep the ship operational, they supercharge all aspects of modern warfare, giving the Kennedy a combat tempo and efficiency level unprecedented in US Navy history. Every component of the ship is designed to maximize combat efficiency, and the numbers prove this capability. In high-intensity operations, the Kennedy can perform up to 270 aircraft launches and recoveries per day, compared to about 180 in the Nimitz class, demonstrating its operational superiority over previous generations of supercarriers. This combination of advanced technology, abundant energy, and integrated systems makes the USS John F. Kennedy not only an engineering marvel, but also a true force multiplier in any conflict scenario, capable of maintaining presence, deterring adversaries, and ensuring strategic advantage for the US for decades. Theme 4: Operational Tempo and Continuous Response Capability of the USS John F. Kennedy. The 25% increase in operational cadence of the USS John F. Kennedy is not just a matter of prestige or impressive numbers. This increase means the carrier can keep more fighters in the air, strike more targets, and respond faster to unexpected threats. In active conflict areas such as the South China Sea or the Red Sea, where adversaries do not follow rules and attacks occur at extreme speed, this capability can be the difference between survival and disaster. The more aircraft you can launch and recover per hour, the greater the pressure you can impose on the enemy, making it harder for them to counterattack. The secret behind this uninterrupted performance lies below the flight deck. The Kennedy is equipped with 11 advanced weapons elevators, AWEs, high-speed elevators that transport bombs and missiles between arsenals and the flight deck. These elevators are not ordinary. They are electric, quiet, and can carry up to 24,000 pounds of ordnance at once. What used to take hours to load and transfer now takes minutes, allowing shorter gaps between missions, fully armed aircraft returns, and minimal downtime during battles. Historically, the biggest delay in air operations was not launching fighters, but refueling and rearming aircraft. On the Kennedy, the elevator system eliminates this bottleneck. As a result, the ship can launch consecutive waves of aircraft with virtually no pause, ensuring air superiority even when the enemy attempts to counterattack with swarms of drones or missiles. This efficiency is particularly important against adversaries using asymmetric tactics. Groups like the Houthis or Iranian-backed militias often launch mass drone attacks aiming to overwhelm American defenses. They rely on speed, chaos, and unpredictability. The Kennedy, however, is designed to neutralize this type of warfare. Thanks to its high operational cadence and rapid ordnance handling, the ship can respond with continuous firepower, maintaining pressure even under repeated attacks. It's not just about launching aircraft, but launching the right combination of forces. Fighters, UAVs, bombers, and surveillance drones are coordinated to form a layered defense and ensure instant retaliation. This flexibility turns the Kennedy into a true nightmare for any adversary that relies on surprise attacks or attrition strategies. Instead of reacting slowly, the ship maintains constant momentum, striking harder and faster with each launched wave. And thanks to automation and nuclear propulsion, this cadence can be maintained for days without taking the ship out of the fight. Beyond weapons and aircraft, the Kennedy's internal layout is designed for high-speed continuous combat operations. Every system works in synergy, like a single machine. Weapons elevators deliver ordnance, emails launches aircraft, AAG recovers them safely, and hangars prepare planes rapidly for the next mission. This is not theory, it is a real-time combat cycle. Launch, recover, refuel, repeat. This tempo would break older carriers. Nimitz-class vessels often require downtime between intense attack cycles. Thanks to simplified mechanics, predictive maintenance software, and fully electric support infrastructure, the Kennedy maintains pressure without pauses. The ship's design allows it to continue fighting even when missions extend for days or weeks. This approach not only improves efficiency, but also reduces crew fatigue and human errors. With more automation and smart sensors, crew members can focus on mission planning, aircraft management, and battle strategy, rather than resolving mechanical or logistical problems. Theme 5: Modern and Integrated Air-Wing Multi-Domain Air Power of the USS John F. Kennedy. The result of advanced automation, next-generation launch systems, and high-speed weapons elevators on the USS John F. Kennedy is significantly greater endurance, fewer mechanical failures, and much faster response times. This evolution represents a complete shift in how carriers operate. However, to fully realize this level of efficiency, CVN-79 does not rely solely on raw power or advanced infrastructure. It requires a modern, diverse air wing capable of facing any contemporary battlefield scenario. To maximize the Kennedy's combat potential, nuclear power, emails, or high-speed weapons elevators alone are not enough. What truly matters is the composition of the embarked Air Force. CVN-79 features a mixed air wing, combining manned aircraft and cutting-edge drones, capable of executing any required mission. This integration represents the Navy's transition into the unmanned warfare era, where flexibility and adaptability are essential for survival and strategic success. At the core of this transformation addition is the MQ-25 Stingray, the Navy's first operational carrier-based refueling drone. This drone acts as a flying gas station, significantly extending the range of stealth fighters like the F-35C Lightning II. With Stingrays in operation, F-35Cs can penetrate deeper into enemy territory, remain on mission longer, and execute complex operations far from home bases. This capability is critical in vast combat zones like the Indo-Pacific, where range, endurance, and sustainability often determine mission success or failure. The F-35C, in addition to stealth, enables real-time data sharing, target coordination, and integration across the fleet, reinforcing the Kennedy's role as a true floating command center. Supporting the F-35 and MQ-25, the carrier's air wing includes EA-18G Growlers, E-2D Hawkeyes, C-2 Greyhounds, and SH-60 Seahawks. Growlers lead electronic warfare, jamming enemy radars, interfering with communications, and preparing the battlefield for friendly forces. E-2D Hawkeyes act as the carrier's eyes in the sky, detecting threats over 300 km away with advanced radars and combat management systems. C-2 Greyhounds ensure continuous delivery of supplies, spare parts, and personnel, keeping operations uninterrupted at sea. SH-60 Seahawks provide anti-submarine warfare and search and rescue capabilities. Together, these aircraft form a multi-domain air wing capable of attack, refueling, surveillance, early warning, and electronic warfare, all from a single floating air base. The system is designed for maximum flexibility, with each aircraft supporting the others through integrated networks, ensuring continuous command and control at all levels of the battle space. The next evolution of the air wing could include reactivating the X-47B, a stealth attack drone that previously led carrier UAV testing. If returned to operational status, it would represent a dramatic strategic shift for the US Navy, enabling autonomous deep strike missions without risking pilots. This capability is particularly relevant against advanced defenses, such as those of China or Iran, where surviving the initial strike is crucial. The long-term vision is clear: a drone-dominant fleet in which manned fighters operate alongside autonomous squadrons. CVN-79 is already configured for this integration, establishing a new paradigm of embarked air power. This approach transforms the carrier into a truly multi-domain platform, capable of coordinated operations in air, surface, and cyber domains, with reach and persistence that redefine naval and aerial superiority in the 21st century. Theme 7: Advanced Defense and Survival, protecting the USS John F. Kennedy on the modern battlefield. As the modern air wing of the USS John F. Kennedy projects power across multiple domains, the aircraft carrier must be able to survive the increasing challenges of contemporary combat. Fast aircraft, attack drones, and electronic warfare capabilities are useless if the ship lacks a defensive system capable of keeping pace with emerging threats. Survival in modern scenarios depends not only on offensive strength, but also on integrated protection and state-of-the-art detection and neutralization systems. The Kennedy faces a new class of threats far beyond submarines, fighters, or traditional ballistic missiles. A critical example is Chinese hypersonic missiles, such as the DF-21D and DF-26, designed to destroy aircraft carriers from over 1,500 km away. These missiles travel at extreme speeds with unpredictable trajectories, giving defenders extremely little reaction time. To counter these weapons, the Kennedy does not rely on outdated systems. It incorporates cutting-edge radar and integrated weapons technologies specifically designed to intercept complex, high-speed threats. At the heart of this defense system is the Enterprise Air Surveillance Radar, EASR. This radar replaces the more expensive and complex dual-band radar used on the USS Gerald R. Ford. The EASR is modular, more compact, and significantly more cost-effective, saving over $350 million without compromising the ability to track targets 360 degrees at all altitudes. More importantly, it is designed for fleet integration, enabling direct real-time communication with escort ships and carrier aircraft. In a multi-missile attack scenario with Chinese DF missiles, the EASR allows the Kennedy and its strike group to operate as a coordinated unit, sharing target data and synchronizing responses in seconds. The ability to track threats simultaneously across different platforms gives the US Navy a significant advantage advantage in response time and combat coordination. But the radar is only the first line of defense. The Kennedy has a layered defense system capable of addressing threats of varying ranges and speeds. Among these layers is the ESSM, Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile, designed to intercept medium-range cruise missiles, providing primary protection against medium-range attacks. For short-range threats, the RAM, Rolling Airframe Missile, comes into play, capable of reacting within seconds against low-altitude drones, fast projectiles, or precision tactical attacks. If any target manages to get even closer, the CIWS Phalanx acts as the last barrier. This radar-guided Gatling cannon fires 4,500 rounds per minute, creating a lethal curtain capable of destroying aircraft, missiles, or drones before they reach the ship. To further enhance protection, the Kennedy also employs 25mm cannons and 50 caliber machine guns, specialized in neutralizing swarm attacks such as suicide drones or fast attack boats. The Kennedy's distinction lies not only in its firepower, but in the complete integration of these systems. Operators do not need to switch between screens or manually designate targets. Everything is managed through a centralized control interface, where sensors, radars, and weapons communicate instantly. The system can identify the threat, determine the optimal response, and execute the counterattack in seconds, minimizing human error and maximizing defensive efficiency. With this setup, the USS John F. Kennedy becomes a floating fortress, ready to face multi-vector attacks and survive the most complex 21st century scenarios. The combination of advanced radar, medium and short-range interceptors, rapid-fire weapons, and system integration creates an almost impenetrable defensive network, ensuring the carrier's offensive power is matched by equally sophisticated protection. This integrated approach represents the next evolution in naval survival, where reaction speed, networked coordination, and automation define dominance in modern combat. Theme 8: Lasers, Directed Energy Weapons, and the Future of Naval Defense. While missiles and cannons have dominated naval combat for decades, the USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, is ushering in a new era: directed energy weapons. These systems are silent, precise, and nearly unlimited in ammunition. The most advanced, the Helios high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, has already been successfully tested on US Navy ships. In 2023, the USS Preble became the first destroyer to shoot down drones and small rockets using only directed energy, demonstrating the revolutionary potential of laser technology. What makes Helios transformative is not just the technology, but also its cost efficiency. While a missile can exceed $100,000, a laser shot costs less than $1. This makes it ideal for defending against drone swarms and saturation attacks that would quickly deplete traditional missiles. In a future dominated by unmanned threats, lasers could become the Navy's first line of defense, complementing missile and cannon systems to create a truly layered defense network. This capability is especially critical against hypersonic threats traveling 5 times the speed of sound, such as China's DF-21D or DF-26 missiles, as well as fast and unpredictable attacks from irregular forces. The Kennedy's automation, advanced radar, and integrated defense systems allow for extremely fast reaction times, neutralizing threats before they reach visual range. In modern naval warfare, survival depends no longer on armor or brute force, but on intelligent reaction, situational awareness, and precise energy-based countermeasures. CVN-79 as a laboratory for the Navy's future. The Kennedy is more than a traditional warship. It is a laboratory for the Navy's future strategy. Under Project 381, the US Navy plans to operate 12 supercarriers and a total fleet of 381 combat ships by 2050, ensuring global control of maritime routes. These vessels are not just symbols of power, they are tools to dominate strategic points like the South China Sea, Eastern Mediterranean, and the Arctic Circle. With systems like Helios, the Kennedy is prepared not only for current threats, but also for future conflicts. Its defenses integrate unmanned aircraft, electromagnetic weapons, and next-generation interceptors into a highly coordinated combat network. This integration allows the ship to respond to rapid, precise attacks faster than ever, reinforcing its role as a core projection of US naval power. When it enters service at the end of 2025, CVN-79 will be more than a platform to launch aircraft. It will test, validate, and refine the next generation of naval warfare. With high-speed aircraft operations, automated automated weapons handling, unmanned systems, advanced radar, and energy weapons, the Kennedy represents a fundamental shift in how carriers fight, survive, and dominate at sea. Strategic questions and challenges. Despite these advances, important questions remain. Can a $1 billion supercarrier maintain sea control against cheap drones, hypersonic missiles, and unpredictable adversaries? As China's military power grows rapidly and US defense budgets face political constraints, the future of US naval dominance is uncertain. The Kennedy represents a strategic test, whether US naval doctrine can evolve fast enough to face modern threats. In an era where enemies no longer follow traditional combat rules, aircraft carriers are no longer untouchable and could become the highest value targets on the oceans. In summary, the USS John F. Kennedy is more than a ship. It is an innovation platform, a hub for integrating unmanned systems, energy weapons, and advanced defenses, and a proving ground for the future of American maritime strategy. Its success or failure will indicate whether US naval power can adapt quickly enough to survive and dominate on an ever-changing global battlefield. Theme 9: Strategic Challenges and the Future of Naval Dominance. Despite all the technology and firepower of the USS John F. Kennedy, CVN-79, it faces significant strategic challenges in the modern global arena. A $1 billion supercarrier is not invincible. With the proliferation of cheap drones, hypersonic missiles, and asymmetric attacks, even the most advanced vessel can become a high-priority target. Vulnerability lies not only in the ship's physical capability, but also in the need to respond in real time to multiple simultaneous threats, something only total system integration and advanced automation can mitigate. The rapid growth of China's military capabilities, combined with US budget constraints and political debates, increases pressure on American naval strategy. New attack technologies such as DF-21D and DF-26 missiles, which can strike targets over 1,500 kilometers away with hypersonic and evasive trajectories, make any carrier's survival more complex. This requires the Kennedy to rely not only on armor and traditional deterrence, but on an intelligent, integrated, scalable defense system capable of reacting before threats reach visual range. The Enterprise Air Surveillance Radar, EASR, exemplifies this adaptation. It provides 360-degree tracking at multiple altitudes and integrates with the entire fleet and squadron aircraft, enabling real-time coordination of interceptions. This transforms the Kennedy Strike Group into a distributed combat network, where destroyers, cruisers, and aircraft share data instantly, creating a coordinated and resilient defense. But radar and interceptors alone are not enough. The Navy also relies on layered defense systems, including ESSM, RAM, and CIWs, as well as automatic cannons and 50 caliber machine guns capable of neutralizing mass drone attacks or fast assault boats. Beyond traditional systems, the Kennedy introduces directed energy weapons, such as the Helios laser, capable of destroying drones and small rockets using only electrical energy. Each shot costs less than $1, while missiles can exceed $100,000. This represents a paradigm shift in naval warfare, where the economy of combat becomes as strategic as destructive capability. The carrier's A-1B nuclear reactors provide the energy to fire these weapons repeatedly without relying on physical ammunition, ensuring resilience in prolonged engagements. The evolution of naval warfare is not limited to defense. The Kennedy is also an adaptable offensive platform, capable of integrating manned aircraft and autonomous drones into a force package that can execute complex strike, reconnaissance, and aerial refueling missions. Drones like the MQ-25 Stingray extend the range of F-35Cs, while future systems like the X-47B could conduct deep strikes without risking pilots. This integration reduces human vulnerabilities, optimizes resources, and increases real-time tactical flexibility. However, all these technological advances bring unprecedented logistical and strategic challenges. Maintaining fully electric systems, advanced radars, and high-energy lasers requires specialized crew training, continuous preventive maintenance, and critical supplies. Any software or power failure could compromise both offensive and defensive capability. The Navy therefore implements redundancy routines, predictive AI, and automated maintenance, ensuring that the Kennedy can operate autonomously for extended periods, even in hostile scenarios. Beyond technology, global strategy shapes the Kennedy's role. It is not just a warship, it is a power projection platform, capable of influencing entire regions such as the Indo-Pacific, Pacific, Red Sea, and Eastern Mediterranean. The presence of a supercarrier acts as both a visual and operational deterrent, but also forces adversaries to expend resources to neutralize the threat. In asymmetric confrontations, where smaller groups launch surprise attacks with low-cost drones and missiles, the Kennedy's reaction speed, automation, and system integration can determine the fleet's survival. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.